Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It's Tuesday the 20th of November. Thanks again for watching this morning. It's a miserable morning outside, isn't it, for many parts of the country. The story is about the dip in temperatures that we're going to be seeing over the next 10 to 14 days and how long that lasts. So more on that in just a moment. Thanks to those of you who joined me on the live webcast last night. We did it just as a test to see how those things go, and it went down very well. So thank you for that. We'll be doing more of those in the coming weeks as well. Now remember, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you're seeing around the screen here. It's these adverts that pay for the site to be kept going, and it means that we break even, because this is a business, it's a commercial exercise, and it means that we can keep the site completely free of charge for you. So thank you for doing that. Okay then, let's take a look at how things shape up. So for the next few hours then, we've got low pressure out towards the west of Ireland today, pushing this area of rain look northeastwards, bringing strong winds with it as well as the rain clears to the north and to the east. Never really gets away from parts of southern England and parts of southeast England as well. We just get this feed look of rain that comes northwards through the course of this evening. Starts to push its way a little bit further westwards during tonight, and brings heavy periods of rain through parts of southern England, the Midlands as well, during the early hours of the morning, and we'll take a look at total rain in just a second as well. The low then slowly clears away eastwards tomorrow, but not before it's brought more rain across the Midlands, eastern parts of England as well, and really it's going to be early afternoon before it clears away properly towards the east. Notice the ridge that builds in though, so western areas look as if they are going to be drier. Now into Thursday, overnight into Thursday, we find dry weather reaching all areas, but there will be rain starting to move up through the Irish Sea during Thursday night, and that brings in another area of rain through Thursday. Look, through Scotland, through Ireland, through western parts of Wales. Heavy at times, the winds becoming very strong as well. These are severe gales once again, and during Thursday afternoon that rain slips its way southwards and slowly eastwards, most of it across Wales, northwest England, southwest England as well, but dry look for much of central, eastern and southern England. Cooler across Ireland, where we'll find some showers affecting the west, and pretty breezy here as well. But just notice we've got another area of low pressure that then feeds its way northeastwards as we head through Friday in towards Saturday. This one again bringing heavy periods of rain during the course of Friday morning across Wales, and then through Friday into Saturday it tracks away towards the northeast, taking heavy rain with it, and then dry weather eventually will be following from the west during Saturday. That brings in this southerly flow, brings some bits of drizzle perhaps to western coasts of Wales and southwest England, but for most, Saturday should be a brighter day and fairly mild as well, with these southerly winds coming in. More rain returning to the west of Scotland and the west of Ireland, but then as we head in towards Sunday, so we find low pressure developing down to the south. That edges northwards, brings more unsettled conditions as we go through Sunday into next week, and then it returns us into a northerly flow. And just look, if you trace the isobars back there, look, follow them back, and you see that the winds are coming straight in here from the Arctic, and of course this time of year that's getting pretty cold. We've got high pressure out here though to the south of Iceland. This is starting to block things coming in from the Atlantic, of course, with that low that's centred across the UK. So that starts us some of the conditions as we head into next week. And first of all, let's just show you how the various different charts are dealing with this, and we'll pick up first of all on the Canadian. Now what I want to do is to focus on the period of the 30th of November and just show you any differences in the charts there. They're all following similar sort of lines but all slightly different. We've got high pressure towards the north here on the Canadian on the 30th. Look, we've got low pressure across the continent, and you can quite clearly see here the ridge that extends across the Atlantic through the UK, look, back down to Atlantic. The Omega ridge has kind of become elongated that way. It's lent itself over, but we still maintain the ridge. We've got a cold easterly flow through the UK there, look, coming across the country, so cool conditions showing on the Canadian models. Now this is how the ECMWF sees temperatures again. We see this slide off in temperatures at 850, so it's showing us that these cooler conditions coming in, and this is how the ECMWF sees the situation for the 30th. Now you'll notice that this low here, look, is much further north than it is on the Canadian model. So it shifted it further north. Also, they've got rid of that Omega ridge. It's it's up here. It's to the north of the UK. But notice what's happening. There's another ridge building in here. Now, I think that tells the story here, and we can't put too much detail on things apart from saying it's going to be cold, it's going to be unsettled around this period. But what I think we can do is identify that this ridge, look, is building back into the Atlantic. So we get rid of one Omega block, and then another one builds, and it maintains this cold north to northeasterly flow through the country. You can see there, look, the start on the GEM of the ridge starting to build back in once again as well. And then if we go on to the ensemble, well, this is the GFS ensemble, and we've seen this gradual decrease in temperatures, look, through the last few days, haven't we? Where we've just seen temperatures falling away as we get towards this weekend, and then taking a dip into next week. And if we look at the situation on the 30th on here, a similar again, look, here is that ridge building back into the Atlantic. Low pressure down over Europe. And we've got this cold north and northeasterly flow through the UK. So the story is fairly similar between the two. I mean, the two that I would probably be taking most notice of are the ECMWF and also the GFS ensemble. I think we'll be working between those two, and I think this is a pattern we're going to see. So we'll see this ridge build back in again out towards the west of the country into the early part of December. It'll bring in these cold north or northeasterly winds through the country, and I still think that that will take us through till around the 4th or the 5th of December. And if we just look at the GFS ensemble and how it develops things, on the animation here from the PSU Ewell site, look, this is the situation as of now. Okay, so we've got this deep trough, look, out towards the west of the country. We've got this deep trough in here, and we've got the ridge built there through the States with a further ridge across the parts of Russia. Now, as that progresses, look, watch what happens. Notice how the trough through the UK clears slowly east and then eventually south as this ridge builds in through next week across the Atlantic. It turns the flow into the northwest. It shoots cold air down into Europe and into the Mediterranean, and it's that develops the low down in the Mediterranean or over central parts of Europe and maintains that ridge, look, to the west and to the north of the UK. So we've got our ridge here, we've got our trough here, and of course that surface area of low pressure is in here somewhere. So that overall idea of this cold northeasterly flow is maintained. And then heading through the rest of the period, well, what you would tend to see is the ensemble wanted the marine conditions back into a normal westerly, but it doesn't, look. It keeps those abnormally high heights out to the west, out to the northwest of the country here. This is the area of high pressure, okay? So this is the area of high pressure up towards the west of the UK. It's kept there even by Wednesday the 5th and maintains this cool north to northeasterly flow through the country. So I think overall we are going into this cool pattern. It looks inevitable. I think probably what we're going to see is England, well, certainly the southern half of England and also eastern and southern Wales in unsettled conditions at times. Cool there, wet as well. Wouldn't rule out the risk of some sleet, even some wet snow in places over high ground. But I still don't see these being blizzard conditions particularly yet. We need to watch that though. I think much drier, frostier and probably sunnier across Scotland. But all in all, I think we are going to be seeing temperatures below normal at least up until the 4th, 5th, stroke 6th of December, something like that at least. And we need to watch beyond that as well to see if these hold on perhaps as far as the 10th. Remember yesterday I was talking about the possibility of that 30% risk of it being to the 10th. It still could be, so we need to watch out for that. Anyway, a long video there, so thanks again for watching, and remember the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen, but for now keep the sun shining.